This is a Whisper 300. It's a very intriguing boat. It's built by Swallow Yachts. Swallow Yachts have been building boats, or sailing boats, for about 25 years. This is their first motorboat, and it's an intriguing provenance because the owner of Swallow Yachts, his wife wanted something a little bit more practical than going sailing, and so this boat was really built for her, but they're putting it into production. This is the very first one, so it's effectively a prototype. The other interesting thing about this is it's actually a wood epoxy construction. It's not GRP. All of this stuff is wood epoxy and then 2-pack painted. So it keeps the weight down, it keeps the economy up, which is important. It's kept on a mooring, this one, so keeping the economy good so you're not having to lug fuel cans to it regularly was very important. And it's a very pretty boat. If you look at it down here and we see the tumble home here and the way this sweeps around, it looks fantastic. But there's a lot of thought going into it as well, because it was designed very much with, okay, what do we want from a boat? And then that was built into the design of this one. So let's take a look on board. There's access on either side of this engine box, so we'll go down this way first of all. And there's a lot of clever detail. So for example, to get onto the side decks, look at these little steps that come down like this, and then these flip over so you can step up and round. And another thing, very important, is these are to put your wine glasses into. So they're there, and they're in the ends of here as well as the cup holders. As I say, it's a boat built with the benefit of having a lot of use of boats generally, and then creating something that's going to work for them. If we head on forward a bit further, so we've got the table here, as you can see. This is neat, this canopy system, it's already in place and it goes on this track, it just slides around like a curtain. So you pull that out of there, slide it around, and it clips on all the way around. You pull another one out of that side, slide it around, clip, 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 zip it down the centre, and you're done. This is quite neat as well, so there's folding backrest here. You can send that either direction, so if you lift that up, drop it over, and then we can lift it the other way. It's easier with 2 hands, not holding a GoPro. You can have it like that. There's going to be cushions that go on here as well. What else can I show you? Little galley area up here, so there's a fridge, and then there is 2-burner gas hob, and the sink is under there. Another very clever thing, the owner wanted freshwater flushing for the toilet. Now, of course, as I mentioned, it's kept on a mooring, so topping up the tank is not that easy. So what they have is where the rainwater comes down the side of the boat and in through this drain, there's actually, I think we can see it in here. Yeah, there we go. There's a little catchment system. Takes the rainwater, puts it through a filter, and then takes it in. Now, you wouldn't necessarily use that for drinking water. You'd bring bottled water for that, but for everything else, for washing up or flushing the loo or whatever, superb. So clever. There's full standing headroom under this hard top. The seats are designed so that with them folded forward, you've got seating right the way across here and around the sides. Should mention as well, there's storage underneath all of these. If I move that one there out of the way, we can lift that up. There we go. And then these cushions, you can just pull them up a little bit because they're on, and how we can see this, there we go, they're on little straps. So you don't have to take them off, you can just lift them up and they stay in place then, and you've got access then to lockers. There's lockers all the way around, and then when you drop that back down, you just drop back into place. So clever. I mean, simple stuff, but it just works brilliantly. And then as you come around here, as I say, you can sit all the way around here. When these seats are not in use, they fold forward like this. And then to bring that into play, if I move Maggie over to the other side, all you do is lift the base, and voila. You lose that little bit of backrest area there, but when you're underway, of course, you want the seating here. So that gives you duality of purpose. Just here, some nice detailing with these stainless steel switch gear across here. This steering wheel is electrically adjusted, so that, depending whether you want to stand or sit, moves like that. These hatches on the ceiling slide. There's also solar panels up there. You've got obviously your multifunction display, your stereo, all the usual bits and pieces. And if we head into the cabin, what we've got here is 2 berth in the bow. There's an infill cushion there that drops in, or you have the infill cushion out, means you can sort of sit around here and use this little seating area. When the weather's not so good, there's big hull windows in here as well. So we've got a decent view out. Curtains that come across. There's a hatch up above, of course. Another little seating area here. Then all the switch panel is up on here, all nice and simple, easy to find. Lighting up in behind here. Fantastic. I love this deck head as well, the way they've done that. There's a separate toilet. That's over on this side. So a little sink in there. And your loo. It's a proper flush toilet. And even things like the seacocks, which are normally hidden in the depths of a locker, they've been put underneath here. And the transducer and everything else all nice and easy to get to. We're going to take a walk around the decks and then we're going to have a look at the engines. Or engines, to be precise. So we'll drop that over, flip the step down. Now again, I mentioned this as a prototype, there's going to be a few changes here. So this slopes down, that's going to be reduced so it's a bit flatter, and this rail is going to be brought up so that you'll have a rail at higher level as you go forward. But we've got rails up here to hold on to. These are the solar panels up here on the roof, and those sliding hatches above the helm. And if you come all the way up here onto the bow, there's an anchor winch system at the front, and in fact what this one's got, let's see if I can show it to you. There's actually, this flips over, there's no anchor on here at the moment, but that flips over like a bowsprit. The anchor sits on there and that's ready to go. Or you can fold the whole thing away, which makes the boat look much smarter and also reduces the length a little bit from a mooring point of view. So put that back where it was. There we go. It's a pretty thing, isn't it? One-piece windscreen and the twin wipers, of course. And then if we head on back, you've got twin fuel fillers on this side. So there's twin tanks, twin batteries, twin filters. So everything is twinned up, and twin engines, so that you've got that backup. And then the last thing to show you before we get to the engines is under the floor here. That is a massive storage void for paddle boards or an inflatable or whatever else you want to keep in there. It's just a brilliant little weekender, isn't it? I think it's a fantastic little boat. There we go, let's drop that back down and we'll finish up with the motors. There we go. So, if we lift this one up, and in here, as you can clearly see, there's a pair of 70 horsepower Yamaha outboard engines. What's great about these, of course, is they lift completely clear of the water. I don't know how well you can see that. Again, brilliant for the use that this boat's put to. It's kept on a mooring, so if you want to dry out, it can do. It keeps everything clean and fresh. You don't need to anti-foul it. So that's a really practical solution. And it's pretty economical too. That'll give the boat about 26 knots flat out and cruising at 20, and there's about 150 miles of range out of those as well. There we go, and those just clip back down like that. And that, let's go and sit at the helm, is about that. Whisper 300. I think that is a really pretty little boat. I'm rather taken with that, and the amount of thought that's gone into it from somebody who actually uses it and goes boating on it is superb. I think it's going to be one to watch. Let me know what you think of that in the comments, and we'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye bye.